Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome Colin Goodman
He's the runner, running 108 miles again.
and Andrew Goodman.
He's Andrew, the crewman, Goodman.
This is Idiots Go Running, Season 3, Episode 22, Colin's 108th Mile Ultra Marathon, Part 2.
So, Colin, we're back for Part 2. How are you today? We're a week on from Part 1. It's Saturday. How are you?
I am, as usual, Andrew, fantastic. How are you?
Outstanding, Colin. Absolutely outstanding. So we'll dive straight into it because really nothing's much happened in the past week. Just update you, I have not ran in the past week. Have you?
No, I have. I did a run on Sunday and I did a High Rocks session as well. So if anyone doesn't know what High Rocks is, it is a 1K run with some sort of rowing, skiing thing in the middle. It's like it's all the rage at the minute. Google High Rocks and you'll see what it is. But we're not here to talk about High Rocks, Andrew. We're here to talk about running and pastries.
We're here to talk about running and pastries and non-running. So, Colin, this is very exciting because we've actually got some feedback from Matt Knaggs, don't we? About the last episode. Should we just jump straight into that?
Yes, let's jump to feedback. Let's jump straight to feedback, Andrew.
Part 1 was quite the roller coaster. Just so there's clarity, in the US, we call it a gas station. I don't think anyone would be confused hearing it referred to as a filling station or even a petrol station. Always educating our international listeners. So a couple of questions, though, for you guys. First, Colin, it sounds like you were really going through it at the beginning of the race. I'm wondering, what was going through your head specifically? Were you saying any mantras to yourself, repeating anything to yourself over and over again? Were you doing the thing where, okay, just get to that landmark 100 meters ahead, and then, one landmark at a time, you're moving forward? Or were you doing the really deep stuff of what's my purpose? What's my motivation? Bring us into your mindset, because I know there are people out there that have gone through similar struggles and maybe haven't gotten through them the way you did. And they're saying, how does a guy do something like that? So tell us, Andrew, really looking forward to the Crewman Chronicles. And, you said you did a bit of research. Sometimes when people say, I've done a bit of research, that implies like I've done quite a lot. And in your case, it sounds as though it actually means a small bit, given that I think you said you did 3 of the 20 points out of ChatGPT. And let's not forget, of course, the YouTube episodes. But that being said, I'm sure that had you read all 20 points, there may have been something about how to handle coffee when you're crewing. And I'm just wondering, what would you say your top 3 Idiots Go Running crewing tips are? So these are not the standard crewing tips based on the Idiots Go Running lifestyle. I'm going to call it that, the Idiots Go Running lifestyle. Also, Colin, McDonald's. You've talked about it a couple of times with races. And I'm curious, and there's no judgment in this question, but are you a regular McDonald's guy, or is this only a race time treat? And if you do go to McDonald's outside of races, what, if anything, do you do differently in terms of what you order? And then the last question, I know it's a podcast, although it's a video podcast, so maybe you would have a way of showing this. However, I know, having followed the race pretty closely, seen a lot of pictures and videos, there are some absolutely stunning views and sights along the way. So I'd love to hear from both of you what you think the highlights were of the race in terms of the things that you could see, whether that be beautiful landscapes or maybe even nature certain animals that you came across along the way. So help us see more of the race through what you experienced. Anyway, can't wait to hear the rest of the race journey. And congratulations to both of you, Colin on finishing and Andrew on figuring out how to crew.
Matt, as always, fantastic feedback. Colin, we'll maybe go straight to the first question. You were finding it tough. You were in a low moment. You were sick. You had to go to the toilet, etc., etc. What got you through it, apart from Andrew, the crewman, good man, or maybe that was what got you through it?
I think he was trying to say not what got me through it, but what was going through my head, Andrew. What was going through my head? My head was blank, Andrew. I just started. I had no idea. All I could think about was my plan, our usual no plan. We should have a no plan because the plan wasn't working. So
you had
what
a
was going
plan.
through my head?
You had a plan. The plan just wasn't working.
The plan wasn't working, and
I think that's where your head went, because you had a plan and it was just falling apart. So
it just didn't work.
What got you through? Why did you not give up?
Because I was keeping on thinking, how do I fix this? It wasn't, what can I think about to make me feel better? I was feeling the way I was feeling. I was acting the way I was acting. I was running / walking, but probably more walking the way I was walking. So it was honestly just, how do I fix this? And then you go through things in your head and you're just walking. You're in your own world. Cars are passing you. Things are passing you. People are passing you. And my head was, how do I fix this? That's all, Andrew. That's where I can go from that.
I remember saying to you, well, let's just get to the aid station, let's evaluate things and take it from there. And I think that was a bit of a goal, wasn't it? Just to get that first 33
Just the first aid station, and then how do you fix what's going on at the minute? Because there's DNF and ain't an option, Andrew.
So the 3 top crewing tips. And Colin,
3 top crewing trips.
You know what I'm going to do here? I'm not going to answer his question. I'm not going to give my top 3 crewing tips because, Colin, this morning,
you don't have any. You don't have any.
I've tips you've never heard of before. I'm sure you'll not find these tips in ChatGPT or any YouTube tutorials and stuff like that. So this morning, it is Saturday. This morning I was working on the Crewman Chronicles, and I was watching it, having a bit of a laugh to myself. And I'm hoping, Colin, I'm going to give myself a bit of a deadline to say I'm hoping it'll be out next Saturday. And I'm going to say, Matt and everyone else, if you want to know my top 3, you'll get a lot more than top 3 tips in the Crewman Chronicles. So what we're hoping to maybe do a small podcast after this, Colin, when the Crewman Chronicles comes out, just to let you know a little bit, or when it's out, and maybe just a little bit about it behind the scenes and your initial reaction to the Chronicles, Colin. So how does that sound, Colin?
That sounds brilliant. So everyone who's listening, I know nothing about these Chronicles. I haven't seen these Chronicles. This is 100% Andrew. Starting a spin-off.
Well, in the last podcast you said about a podcast. I don't think the Crewman Chronicles is going to be a podcast. It's going to be a YouTube, I was about to say series, but certainly part 1, and then who knows, will the Crewman return? Find out.
Yeah, this is our part 1 of the Crewman Chronicles. Could be part 1 and the finale all rolled into one, Andrew. You never know.
We'll have to wait and see. And then call McDonald's. Do you normally eat McDonald's?
So a while back, Andrew, I never would eat McDonald's. Never would eat McDonald's. I twice a year if I was lucky. And then McDonald's brought out a plant burger. So plant burgers are overpriced, Andrew. It costs you $4,000 and whatever your crewman will pay for a single plant burger. So it's expensive.
4,000 points. That is 4,000 points.
4,000 points. Sorry. Outside, the kids would go to McDonald's the odd time, Andrew, as you do. You're a parent, you want an easy dinner, you take your kids to McDonald's, and I would always throw in a plant burger because I'm not a mass. I don't drink Coke outside of marathons. I don't eat a lot of chips outside of marathons. I eat a reasonable amount of chips, but I don't eat loads of chips. But I would just get a plant burger. What's the difference between Colin on trail McDonald's and Colin with kids McDonald's is I order probably too much stuff. I ordered 2 plant burgers, some chips, a big thing of Coke, and a tea. The tea never got drank. I think I finished the Coke. Ate half the chips, and the 2 burgers were stretched out over 15 miles.
Something like that. And I'm sure Matt's curious. Andrew, do you eat much McDonald's? Well, it's a very timely podcast to ask that question because we had some last night as a family. And if you're curious, I make chicken sandwich and I get a dip. No, the curry dip. I love the curry dip with my chips. And then sometimes if I'm feeling extra peckish, I get a cheeseburger on its own. So I know you didn't ask, Matt, but I know you are probably thinking, does the crew man eat? So the odd time we get McDonald's, but it just so happens I have had one in the past 24 hours.
But Andrew, to throw in the Crewman Chronicles, the crewman has to eat. The crewman needs fed. The crewman also needs sleep, and the crewman needs as much as the runner needs. But do you dip your chips into the milkshake or McFlurry, Andrew?
No, I don't get either, Colin. So I don't, but I do hear that people do that.
But you don't do it. You've never done it once in your life.
Maybe, Colin, maybe in my many years in this earth, I have at some stage done it. It sounds like something I would have done. But maybe once.
No.
Don't get milkshakes. No, don't get McFlurries with my chips. So that's where I'll go. So was that all the questions from Matt then?
No, there was amazing sights. There was what animals did I see? There was loads of other wee bit, like. So I don't think it's right to start off the podcast to say this is all of the amazing things we've seen and did. I think if you listen to the podcast, we will definitely touch on the animals. I've got an animal story right there.
Good.
And all the amazing sights. We'll wait to the end. And I think it's a short recap to say this is the run and this is how amazing it was. Andrew, what do you think?
I think you're right. So we'll jump into the race because this is part 2. And at the minute, we've talked nothing about part 2, just about part 1 and different shenanigans. So, Colin, you're on your way to the Dungiven aid station. I'm there. I've got all your bottles of water. And you normally tell me 2 things. When I last meet you, you say at the next aid station or the next stop down the road, I want a gel and something. On this occasion, I think you phoned me. So sometimes I get a WhatsApp message and you said, I want a pot noodle for me and Ross. Because at this stage, you were one with Ross. And Colin, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to say something here about these messages. Now, normally people with their phone, you just speak into, a wee WhatsApp message. Sometimes you get a voice message. Sometimes it's a text message. Colin always does like a wee video message where he's filming himself. That's grand. I've got no issue with that. You know what I do have an issue with, Colin?
Go for it.
When you're filming yourself, your music's still playing. So literally on this one, you were listening to Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. It's a great tune, Colin. Nothing against the tune. It's a fantastic tune. It's a tune that everyone should play every single day of their lives. It's fantastic. I love the bit. I know we're going off tangents. You know Wayne's World?
Yes.
Right. So that's playing in the background. We were going, Colin! No, you're Colin, right? Andrew, me and Ross, we want a pot noodle at the next aid station. We're about 5 minutes away. Well, Bohemian Rhapsody's going in the background.
Galileo.
You see, it's right now. It's like, if you're listening, you're hearing him in the background. So the music, you're trying to lip read a good crew, man. You nearly need to lip read while listening to Bohemian Rhapsody and get the details away. So, Colin, thank you. That's always a pleasure to get those messages. It's not annoying in the slightest to have music blaring while you're shouting your order down the phone.
Well, it was just a pot noodle, and you know what? I brought 6
2 pot noodles, Colin. You requested 1 for you and 1 for us. That's 2.
Well, yes, but so I had 6 in the back of the car. I had 2, maybe not the best idea for an ultramarathon, 2 kebab pot noodles, 2 curry pot noodles, and 2 sweet and sour pot noodles. Did we go for 2 curry pot noodles?
You both went for curry pot noodles.
Yeah,
you did for
the original curry pot noodle. So just for feedback, the sweet and sour is lovely. It's a bit sweet for me. That stage in the race, the curry one was great because it's not too spicy, and I don't think it ever got to the kebab one.
You didn't. There was one. I think you gave Seth, my eldest son, actually. I think there's one still downstairs. That might be his one today, actually.
Seth's getting a kebab for lunch. Dad of the year pot noodle. And you do make a fine pot noodle. So myself and Ross, where we'd left it, my torch was on the chest, and we were running down to Dungiven aid station, and we walked in. Ross was talking to, I think, people and some of his crew saying, Ross, you didn't get a good sleep last night. You need to get your head down and get 15 minutes rest. So that's where Ross's head was. And if you remember from the previous one, Ross's didn't have a GPS. GPS wasn't working right before. But anyway, he turned up with no GPS, Andrew. So we're now sitting going, Ross is going, Colin, thank you so much. I'm going, Ross, do you know the next part of the course? Do you know the next part? He goes, well, and that, well, is it a
Next
good
part's
answer?
tricky, and this is it's dark by now. What is it? It's around midnight. I'm pretty sure it's around
Yeah.
midnight to enter this aid station, which was like 5.5 hours earlier in our round.
Yeah.
5 hours, 5.5 hours than compared to
So-
last year, which is just absolutely ridiculous.
Plan had stayed the same. If you listen to Nick Weston's tips, Nick Weston's tip is aid station. It's not a dinner hall that you go and sit down. It's not a restaurant. It's a drive-through. You go in, you get yourself fed, and you get yourself out again. It's a drive-through, and you collect your points. Andrew, remember that one? So, anyway,
You got your
ended
pot
to give me-
noodle. You sat
Yeah,
down. How did you feel
brilliant.
at that moment?
I was feeling fine because I just helped Ross the previous part of it. Like I said in the previous episode, that helping people helps you, helps them, helps you, helps you, help them. So
Yep.
I was feeling good. My mind was off it, and I knew I was going back out into the night, and I had to get my lights sorted, Andrew, and all my stuff sorted. I sat down, and you brought all the gear in, repacked my bag, changed my clothes, was feeling great. I was glancing over at Ross, so if he didn't realize, the whole time I was glancing over to see him under how he's keeping. He's munching away on his pot noodle. Loved his pot noodle, Andrew. He loved his pot noodle. Got soup. Did I get pasta? Can't
I
remember.
think you got pasta. You didn't take much pasta. You got a little pasta.
But it was just getting food in, getting stuff in. But my thing was get dressed, get ready, and get out again. Legs are feeling good. Change of socks. And then it came to fix my light, and I got my bag and all on. Was
You
ready.
decided to put your light on, which was a good call.
I
on this
did.
occasion.
You fastened my. So when you're doing these long distance runs in the night, you have to have a wee backlight, a wee red light in the back.
Yep.
So you fastened that on for me. I was getting
Turned
my
it
bag on. Everything was all ready, and I said, Andrew, got a warm hat on. So over in Northern Ireland, it can get quite cold at night, and if it rains or whatever, you can get quite cold. And
Yep.
took my hat on, and I said, Andrew, get my light on. And
Head
then
torch, or just put your head torch or a flashlight.
torch,
Some might,
or
our international listeners might refer to.
flashlight. So I said, right, Andrew, get that light on. Let's ready. Let's go. Everything's all charged. And I felt this almighty slap on the side of my head.
It wasn't my hand.
I was like,
it wasn't my hand.
It wasn't. No, what's Andrew had? I said, Andrew, what are you doing? And he goes, I think I broke your light, Colin.
No, I was trying to. So I was trying to tighten it. So it was like a wee tighten thing where you just tighten it, and I tightened it too much, and the wee thing snapped off. Easily done. Good crew man. You want it snug in your head. Maybe it was a little bit too snug. Maybe it was a cheap product. We'll never know these answers. But the fact of the reality was, it snapped off your head, and now you were torchless, flashlightless.
But it wasn't just your normal wee. It wasn't just your normal wee thing where you just flick it in and you go back again and you're ready to go.
No,
This thing
Steadily.
had two plasticky bits, and Andrew goes, "That's okay. I'll just try it." And I could see you were trying to fix it, and then I think at that stage was like, Andrew, spare torch.
Get the spare
need
one.
it.
Yep, no issue there.
So,
apart from didn't have it.
Shout
there,
out to
so-
Jeff.
Well, I went to the car. Jeff, our friend, lent us a spare one for such an occasion. I said, Colin, don't have it here. It's in the car. And I went to get it. And then when I came back, I said, Colin, can't find it. Okay. So I'm not quite sure. I think it was in your bag, actually. I think it was in the bottom of your bag, but it was at the very bottom. But we didn't know at that point. I had searched the car and was really confused. But of course, it was in your bag because it was the spare one. But by this stage, you had it fixed. Or someone helped you.
Well, it took four people, four another crew, and they were looking at my torch and they're going, like, what's going on? I said, like, this guy's a crew man. He broke my head torch. The one bit of kit I need to get out in that dark and continue this race.
What do you mean one bit of kit? You need shoes, Colin. Your shoes are more important than a torch.
I can run on bare feet.
No, you can't, Colin. No, you can't. Would you
rather run blind?
Would you rather run barefooted with a torch in your head rather than shoes on your feet without a torch? That's a good question. Sure,
that's a good question.
Shoes.
Yeah. Would you rather run blind with shoes?
Not
or
blind.
You can
You've got the night sky. You get the night sky.
It's dark. It's dark.
It was dark. There's maybe clouds covering the night sky. Is it still called sky if there's clouds in the sky?
Well, you've just said it.
So, is it still called sky if you can't? Is it still called sky if you can't see the sky? Yeah, we're going deep today, Colin. We're going deep. You know what, Matt?
We're not going.
Over to you, Matt. You research that. Come back to us with a bit of feedback. And
Are you are you for real? Is it still called sky if there's no clouds in the sky?
No, is it? Listen to the question. I don't want to sound silly here, Colin, but
Is it still called sky if you can't see the sky? What are you trying to ask? Is it still called sky if you can't see the sky? The sky will always be called the sky.
Right.
It's like if Andrew's not here, is he still called Andrew? Like, yes, if you can't see Andrew, you're still called Andrew.
So at the minute it's very cloudy here, and I'm looking up and I'm just seeing clouds. I'm not seeing the sky. Here.
So,
Well,
sorry, Matt. Good luck in answering this one. I look forward to your feedback.
just wait. We need to get to the bottom of this.
Andrew, it's still called the sky.
I have a question for you. This is ChatGPT, by the way. Is the sky still called the sky if there's clouds in the sky and you can't see the sky? So if I'm looking up and all I see is clouds, is it still called the sky?
That's such a fun question. I think we still call it the sky, even if it's full of clouds. The sky is just kind of the space above us, no matter what's going on up there. So even on a cloudy day, you're still looking at the sky, just a very cloudy version of it.
Fantastic. You answered that in such a graceful way when you really just could have called me a muppet.
No way. I love these kinds of questions. It's all about curiosity and seeing the world in a fun way. Keep them coming.
Oh, I will, ChatGPT. I will. There we go. So we've cleared up that, Matt. You don't need to know. You don't need to get back to us. You know, it seems an obvious answer, but sometimes you're in your thick of the moment, thinking about sky and clouds. Your mind just drifts to a different place. Colin,
It does drift. And
So-
there goes our listeners.
do you know what?
So you broke my head torch, Andrew. You broke my head torch. Right. So there was a photographer out that day, and I think she's snapping photos of everybody all along the course. She was
As
there.
photographers
the whole
do,
way.
Colin. As photographers do.
I'd still call photographers if you can't see them, Andrew. But yes, so she was actually a scout. So she took the head torch and she goes, "No problem. Fiddly-dee, fiddly-da, head torch is fixed. It's on my head." I didn't want to say anything, Andrew, but the head torch was quite tight on my head, but I was scared to touch it again in case it came loose. But, it was cutting off circulation to my brain. But anyway, I started to go out and Ross is like, "Can I come with you, Colin?" Ross didn't get asleep. He was lying down. He was getting leg massage and all this other stuff, but he didn't get asleep. So he says, "Can I come with you? Because you know the course." Well, idiots go running, knows the course, Andrew. That's what recce runs do. Nick tip again. Go and recce the course. Recce. Because when it get to about 60, 70 miles, you make silly mistakes. Your head isn't in the right space to make the right decision. So we left you, Andrew, and we continued into the night. And the first part of it is a lot of road and then you go into a country road, Andrew.
Well, I'll just fill you in what I was doing there. After I couldn't find your head torch, your flashlight, I got in my car and then I drove by you, rolled down the window, and I said, "Are you sure you don't need anything?" And you and Ross said no, and I gave you a wee beep, 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 and then went into the distance. I used Google Maps to find the next place where I would meet you, because this was actually quite a distance. I don't know how many mile it was, Colin, but it was quite a distance.
So my bag was packed. At this point, from the aid station to the next point, we were going through, it was fields which had sheep in it, paths, and then we were getting
There was nowhere for me to meet you. I couldn't have met you anywhere. The next logical location was a fair distance away.
It was after a forest. And I said, "Andrew, you were tired. You were tired at this stage." I said, "Andrew, I'm not going to see you for 4 hours." And you go, "Oh, it could have been about 4 hours, I think." And I said, "Andrew, go and get a sleep." And you go, "I'll set my alarm for 2 hours." I was like, "Are you mental?" I said, "Go and get a sleep. I know where you're going." So there's this mini aid station at a point in the course. And that was the next place where I was going to see Andrew. And I said, "Go and park up at the mini aid station. It has tables. It has a wee pick of food. And it's a good point to meet. And I will see you there. And you go and get a sleep." And Andrew drove off in the night. Beep, 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 beep. And myself and Ross, just us two, went on the way.
Well, I'll tell you what I did, and then you can say what you did, because I Google Maps it, And Colin, I was going across mountains on a thin road. It was pitch
Were ya?
black. Yeah, it was pitch black going over mountains. There was no cars about. The road was only big enough for one car. There was a ditch to the right of me. There was a ditch to the left of me. And I have to say, I was a little bit scared. I was all by myself. Sometimes the crewman gets scared at night under the clouds, which we now know is in the sky. That's ridiculous. I'm going to get teased. About this. But Colin, I was driving for a long while, and all I could think of, there was no phone signal, no cell signal, and I thought, if I break down here, I'm in big trouble. And I do mean that. It was it was a very straight road. There was nothing about, no houses out up in the mountains, and I finally got to the end of that road, and I was so thankful, because Colin, it was pitch dark, and I did think, if I, for whatever reason, break down here, I'm in diffs. But I got to the place where I was to meet you, and I'll quickly fill you in, because I know this isn't about me, it's about you and the running. But I quickly thought, right, I'll get some sleep, but I locked my car doors in case they nick your stuff, Colin. You know, nothing about me, but your stuff. My alarm kept going off like every 15 seconds. So then,
Why?
Because in my car, for some reason, there's sensors in it, and if you lock yourself in the car alarm goes off. So now this must be close to 12:30, 1:15. So I didn't tell you this, did I? No.
No.
It kept going off, Colin, every 15 seconds, and it was really frustrating. So I had to YouTube it, and it took me about 15 minutes to get this car alarm off. And then I had 2 blankets around me, and I was on the passenger side. I was trying to get comfy. Colin, I was trying to get comfy. I couldn't get comfy, and I just thought, I'm just going to have to wait for you. And then the next moment, I know, a knock on the window, and I was like, I must have.
But we'll come to that.
Well,
We'll
Colin, just wait, Colin. We know we're going
All
to come to it. I'm just saying, this was a good build-up. It was like, boo, 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 and it was you. You butt in. So, Colin, I want to know what happened to you from last time you seen me to the in the window. You see, that's what we call in the business. I forget the word.
Sky.
You know what I mean? Go for it. No, clouds. So, Colin, between I met you, what happened?
What happened, right? So you drove on, and myself and Ross started running. The first section of that is just road, Andrew. And do you know what? We were chatting to each other once again, going through life. We got to a part where the road finished, and then we started to hit grassy. It was more of a grassy field where farmers keep sheep, and the pathway goes through this field. And Ross, at the start of this, Andrew, you could tell Ross was getting tired. And, I think he was getting a sore head. So he stopped, took some painkillers like this, and you could see he was just getting tired. He needed to sleep.
Did Ross say that he got no sleep the night before?
Very little, if anything, Andrew.
Very little sleep. And I was thinking, wow, that's...
Yeah, so he got very little sleep last night. So he was starting to run on empty, and you could see it was starting to affect him. But he knew when he got to where you were, he knew the rest of the way. As was mentioned previously, that aid station, people had came and gone, and people had left ahead of us. As we were going in, there was one guy leaving. All of a sudden, you see lights in the distance, Andrew. It was the red lights.
Colin, when you left me, you could have been in or around maybe 12th place, 11th, 12th
Really?
place.
That far? I'm not sure.
Well, if it was 10th, it was 10th. But you're always hovering around between
10th.
9th, 10th, 11th, 12th-ish, in or around there, yeah.
We actually caught up to Paul and a guy called Chris. And Paul and Chris were walking, but we caught up to them. So up to this point, Chris is mad. Christopher's mad. He just sees a hill, and he runs down it. His arms are going everywhere. He runs away, and he disappears. And then he just disappears. That's this guy I think I previously spoke about. He runs, he disappears. And then you see him again. And then you go a few steps past him, and then there's a hill. He runs, he disappears. Ross was with me, and I said, Ross, I'm going to keep on moving because we've got a good pace going. I want to use this energy I have to continue to push forward. So I said, Ross, are you okay with Paul and Chris? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. And I didn't say much, but then I kind of kept on moving on, and I kept on going forward. So at this stage, Andrew, I'm on my own. I'm in the night, and I'm heading towards what must be, it's called the Priest's Chair, the freakiest place in the whole course at night.
I think you'll find the freakiest place in the whole course was a road with no one else on it, with ditches left and right, Colin. But maybe the race course you're talking about, I'll accept that.
As I left them guys, maybe about an hour later, half an hour later, I was coming in. I came down this wee path, Andrew, and I came around the corner. Answer to Matt Knaggs' question, did I see animals? I seen not one, not two, but 3 wolves.
3 wolves. Now, Northern Ireland's
3
not really
wolves.
known for wolves, if they have any.
Tiny wolves.
Colin.
Tiny
All right,
wolves.
well,
I just
a
came
tiny
around, I
wolf.
stopped.
Just a tiny wolf is still a wolf.
Tiny wolf. Don't you get me
We just,
started.
we just need to start with. We need to
wolves.
start being factually correct in this podcast now. That we know that the clouds are
Adolescent
shy.
wolves, okay, whatever, a pup, I don't know, small wolves. I came around the corner and there's 3 wolves staring at me, Andrew. Now, they're only staring at me for about 2 or 3 seconds, because then when I rubbed my eyes, the wolves disappeared, and it turned out it was 3 wee sprouts of grass. I was
You
going,
had a hallucination.
I had a hallucination. So, Andrew, I want to clear this up. Hallucinations aren't the type of things you see and you think, you sit down and you have a tea party and they last for a long period of time. For me, maybe it was just phasing in and out of tiredness, but it was just literally, wolves, gone. And that's all it was. So I'm not saying I was like hallucinating. It was like Gary and Gillian. Gillian was getting fed strawberries by people before. This was a couple of seconds and then gone. I continued on, Andrew, and I seen my second animal. A big American bald eagle over here at the corner of my eye.
Right.
I was like,
again, Northern Ireland is not known for their big American bald eagles, if we have any.
yeah. So then I sort of glanced around, but Andrew, it was a tree trunk. It was like this, a tree trunk, yeah. So it wasn't a big American bald eagle. So
Another
other than that, I didn't see.
hallucination.
I seen birds. That's all I seen on the course. I'll answer Matt's question. I just seen birds, and I don't think I even seen a squirrel. But yeah, that's all the animals I've seen. The ones I seen in my head. But this part of the course, Andrew, remember we on our previous episode we said we had really bad weather and trees were down.
Yep.
So this turned into parkour, literally parkour. There was trees. There's some areas, Andrew, where you had to get down hands and knees and go under trees. Some areas you
Right.
had to go round the trees, and some areas you had to jump over the trees. And like it was, Andrew, it wasn't easy. The trees.
Sounds like you need to get a leap out of We're Going on a Bear Hunt, the great ultra running book, which I have signed by Dean Carnazes.
You do. Always got it. His is Dean Carnazes signed We're Going on a Bear Hunt book.
If you're on the video podcast, you'll see I've got a book. Dean Carnazes, big friend of the show, Colin. Big friend of the show. So you see, runs end.
Wow.
Thing is forever. Dean Carnazes.
Brilliant. And I remember at dinner when he signed that, Andrew, I handed it across the table and he's like, what are you handing me this book for? And I said, this book isn't for you, it's for him. But Dean Carnazes, we're going to bear hunt. So the trees had fallen, Andrew, and yes, the bear hunt book came into play. But Andrew, the bear hunt book always says you got to go through it. This is the
Right, it
opposite.
does.
This is the anti-bear hunt. The trees had fallen. I couldn't go through it. I had to go under, over, or around them.
But that's going
So-
through it, kind of going under it and over it, you know.
So we can't go through it. We have to go around it or under it or over it or figure out a way around it. Read the bear hunt.
We're going on a bear hunt.
Not all, not from the start,
Right.
Andrew. Skipped it, just wavy grass or something.
We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it.
So the trees had fallen, Andrew, and I couldn't go through it, but I had to go under it, or I had to go over it, or I had to go around it. So it's kind of turned the bear hunt on its head. It gives the same idea. It's the same idea as what we're saying. It's the same idea as what we're saying. On up past the trees, Andrew, they would slow down your pace, and the weather was drizzly. It was just drizzly and damp and a bit windy. It wasn't great. My head torch was holding up well, and my actual head got sore, so I loosened the head torch myself. So my head, I was giving me a terrible headache, Andrew. It was so tight. And then I got up to Mary, the priest's chair. I think it's called the priest's chair. The priest's chair. The priest's chair. I think it's called the priest's chair. And this place is literally, there's just a statue of Mary, and she's sitting in this kind of shrine type thing. And then there's all these logs are sitting on the other side of it. And I just, after seeing the wolves and seeing the eagle, Andrew, I came up and I was like, I had to tip my hat to Mary and go, hey, Mary, just in case my eyes started playing and she turned her head or something. That would have really freaked me out. But after Mary, Andrew, there's this bank and the road ends, but this road doesn't. You have to climb up the bank and it's really mucky. And in the dark, it's really hard to see. But I'd recce'd this 2 or 3 times, so I knew the exact route I was taking up. And I got up to the top of that hill, and as I got up to the top of the hill, it's we're into another bog. So we were hitting another bog, and I put my head up, and then all I see is
you know
these.
what? I remember this bit. I had forgot about it until you said about this. I remember exactly where you are. It's another bog, and it's not. This bit's not easy, Colin. This bit's not easy at all. So in the dark.
It
Never
wasn't
mind
easy
daylight.
last year.
There was a lot of mucking about last year of where to go. So
And how to get over this bank and getting up this bank, and where's the route in this bank? There is no path. There is a path, Andrew. Would you believe? You just have to look hard enough and know where the path is. But when we say that, the muck is that the deep, thick muck that you put your foot in, it goes and near sucks your shoe off as you're lifting your shoe out. That's the type of thickness of the muck. So and there's fallen trees in this as well. So but anyway, I got through it. I got up to the top, and shout out to Gordon Glenn again. He had put all the wee strips on everything. Because they were fresh, reflective, bright strips, I lifted my head torch up, and I was just like, ding, 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 ding. It was like, you ever seen an airport strip where all the wee lights are sitting there?
Yep.
Andrew, that's what it was like. It was like,
it's lighting up the way.
I knew the way, but because I knew where I was going.
At this stage, it was still you.
It was still me. From here on in, it's a lot about just me from here on in. So I got through the bog bit. Nothing much happened, Andrew. It was just, I knew where I was going. I was on my own. I was in my own head. And I was just moseying on through. I had a few wee things in my bag that was nibbling away at, eating away at. There's another part that you come to that the road ends, and then there's a grassy bit, and there's this like sort of cliffy rock bit on your right-hand side that you will come round, that I came round. That's when I met Mark, the first one I had met in a while, and Mark had left the aid station long before me. As I was going in, he was coming out. All of a sudden, I came around the corner, there was this gate, and it was like the mountain or the hill gave birth to a person, because he just slipped down this hill. He just boom, 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 and he just appeared and ahead of me, and I was going, this is weird. And he was going, no, the way you come through this, it's called the Eagle's Cliff or Eagle Cliff or Eagle Rock, whatever it is. And he came up through Eagle Rock and down, whereas I went round the corner. But I was following my GPS. It took me around the corner. I was like, right, okay. And that's when we get into the forest. And I got into the forest, Andrew, and Mark was there. And similar thing before, I thought, I'm in a good pace here. I'm feeling good. Whenever you're in an ultramarathon, Andrew, and you're in a distance, and see when you're in good form, use it. See when you're feeling good, use it. See when you have energy, use it. And so the rest of this bit is good and slopey downhill, and it's good. I took a few wee wrong turns, but nothing major. Came out the end of the forest, Andrew. I turned left, and then it was path, and I knew my next stop was just even half a mile. That was the aid station. That was funny, Andrew. I seen loads of cars. I seen other crews there, crews that were ahead of me, crews that I hadn't seen in a while. And then I seen your wee red car parked there, and then it was a boom, 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 boom on the window. And I could only hear someone half sleeping. Was like, waking up.
Fully sleeping. Wasn't half sleeping, fully sleeping.
You were fully out for the count. And I knocked on the window, and I said, Andrew, wake up. And I had to nip into the toilet at that stage and come back out. Hopefully by the time you were awake.
I was out of it, Colin. Like, I didn't know what the crack was. I think as a crewman, I was close to useless at that stage because I was just so dazed. It took me a wee while. And
your wee blanket was around you.
Oh yeah,
and you looked so warm and cozy.
I put my blanket around me, so I did, and I was chatting to you at the boot. I pulled the boot up, and I think I got you out something. But I just had the blanket. You went to the toilet. I went to at the same time. There was official toilets, not like tree toilets or nature, I suppose. So there is like a wee mini aid station. You say you didn't even go in. So there was toilets in the wee aid station indoors. There was food and all in there, and a hall and a bouncy castle, I believe. All of which we didn't see because we didn't go in.
Didn't know about the bouncy castle.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to somebody later, and somebody got to that bit, just lay in the bouncy castle, and said, "That's it, my race is over." And if you're going to end if you're going to end a race, an ultra marathon, and this must be around 75 miles in 80 miles, maybe around 75 mile mark. If you're going to drop out of an ultra marathon 100-mile race, why not do it in the bouncy castle? Collapse on the bouncy castle.
That's a story. See if I had seen the bouncy castle, that'd have been tough going to get me off that, Andrew.
You and the crewman too. You and the crewman too. But we didn't go into that hall. You just came back. You didn't spend long. and you went out running into the night, by this stage, dawn was breaking, maybe slightly, because it was around 4 in the morning.
Yeah. My
No, was it
torch
4 in the morning?
was
5 in the
flickering.
morning, maybe something like that. Yeah,
Could have been about
I
5.
charged your torch up a little bit, I think, and you didn't stay long, and you went. And as you
No.
said, there was a lot of crew, there was a lot of cars about.
Little crew
and
still sitting there.
when you went, I looked at my phone and I looked at it and refreshed it a few more times because my phone said, Colin, the GPS tracker said that you were in 4th place. Colin,
Wow.
when I last
Joint
left
4th.
you,
Joint 4th, I'll tell you why.
joint 4th, and I said to you, no, I looked at it before you went because I kept saying a few times, Colin, before you went, what happened in that forest? What happened? What happened since I last seen you? Because that's 6 competitors or so that you went past, and they weren't in at this stage, or maybe there was somebody coming in. But I kept saying to you, what happened in that forest?
What happens in the forest stays in the forest. Well, not much happened in the forest, Andrew. I kind of just ran through the forest. So
You
that's what
ran
happened in
through.
the forest.
Others maybe just because you recce'd it so well for that stage.
Yeah, I could have done it with my eyes shut and bare feet, Andrew.
For other people, and myself included, if I like, it's an easy place to get lost in the dark, under the clouds in the sky.
Andrew, it's all an easy place to get lost on the main road. If you take the turn in too early, or if you take the turn in too late, if you miss a country lane, like it doesn't have to be boggy and it doesn't have to be dark to get lost. It is that 100 miles is a big distance. It's a big span. It's a big place, and a lot of things happen. You can hurt yourself. You can go roll an ankle. You can feel sick. A lot of things can happen. It's 100 mile. It's a long time. It's 26 hours. It's over a day, and you're out there by yourself.
So you left. You went running down the road, and there's a big mountain, and I was going to see the other side of this mountain, which again was probably could have been 2 hours, maybe.
Yeah. So why I said like I was joint 4th. The guy that was the guy that the cliff gave birth to, Mark. Well, from my view, what happened? He left the same time as me, and we went walking down. Anyway, we knew what was next. This sort of climb. I can't remember the real name, the actual name to the point we're going to, but it's Money Nini. And it's do you remember last year we were like 2 guys, we're strong in the hills, going up the hills. So I was going up the hill, kept on going, and the further you got up there, Andrew, then the weather started to change. I was actually up that hill. I had my coat on. The wind was beating the face off me. The visibility was so poor you could hardly see in front of you. I had my snood up over my nose, so all you could see was my eyes. And my hat was on, my hood was up, and Andrew, I felt like. Have you ever seen the Batman movie, Batman Begins, where Christian Bale's going up the mountain and he just looks like this?
Oh yeah,
that's what I felt like, Andrew. Cool. Yeah, I was cool. Couldn't see ahead of me. I was heading to see a monk. Well, not really heading to see a monk. I was heading to get down the other side of that hill, because at the top of that hill you come down, and that's where we got lost last year, Andrew.
Did we get lost, or we just took the scenic route round the hill?
Andrew, we wasted a lot of time. That's when Paul was
Paul
behind us.
Man. Yep,
Paul the Bogman. He was fast. He knew he'd recce'd the route. I'd recce'd this a handful of times, so I knew exactly where I was going. Even though it was misty, even though I couldn't see, I knew get up, get to the fence, and get down. I know where the car is. And Andrew, I pounded down that hill, and I got down that hill faster than I thought I could get down the hill.
Some speed, and I seen you. There was a few crews, and I had made you up a pot noodle, and I remember coming to you, and you would have had to go maybe like 4 meters out of your way in the opposite direction. 4 meters, nothing. You were like, drive up, meet me. I'm not turning back. You weren't turning back. It was like 4 meters away, and I was like, oh, you gotta respect this boy. Like, he is in it now. And get me my what do you call it? Road shoes ready. So I get in the car, the pot noodle, being careful not to spill it, and careful not to spill it over clothes in particular. And I went up about 50 meters ahead of you, and got the pot noodle out, and got the chair out, and got your shoes out. As a good crewman should.
Yeah, because I came out on the main road.
You were on fire. Like,
where's Andrew? I came out on the main road, and I looked. I was like, where's Andrew? And I looked, and you were parked behind another car on the left hand. So I come out onto the main road, and I turn right, and right is my road home. And I knew this was 18 miles left, Andrew. The last 18
All
miles
road.
is road.
All road, yeah.
Yes, it might be slightly boring hills. There's no
Yep.
like I don't have another story after this, Andrew. It's just a
Yeah.
plain big road. And I just seen you and I thought, I ain't going that way to come back this way.
4 meters,
I
like,
said,
but that's why I say
4 meters, Andrew. It was about 14 meters.
Ah, Colin, you were dazed and confused. 4 meters.
No, crewman doesn't know his distances. The runners know what 14 and 4 is, the difference between that.
Here, you've just seen unicorns or bats or bears or what bald eagles and all
Bald
like that.
eagles and
You
3
couldn't-
wolves.
Aye, and all that business. I had a good 3 hours sleep at this stage. I knew what the crack was, Colin. I know what 4 meters looks like. Do I know if there's clouds in the sky? Yes, I do now, and I know what's called the sky. But at this stage, I knew 4 meters for 4 meters.
So I said, Andrew, get me my stuff, like you said. And you even pulled the chair out the car in this. So you drove ahead of me, pulled the chair out, got the pot noodle ready. I put my feet out. You took my shoes off. You put my other shoes on. I ate my pot noodle, most of it. It was sweet and sour, I think, this one. So I ate some of my sweet and sour. And I had leftover burger at this stage still, didn't I?
I think you maybe did. I think you did.
I had a
maybe.
wee bit leftover plant burger. Granted, it was cold, but let's be honest, McDonald's isn't the premium level of restaurant food. So I'm good with cold McDonald's food.
Even Colin, just to go off on a tangent, if you get a good steak, cold steak still steak, and it's good steak. You know what I mean?
Cold pizza.
Cold
Nothing
pizza.
better
I,
than
I
cold
think
pizza.
I think cold works no matter what. Doesn't matter what the quality of food is. You know what I mean? Still nice.
Aye.
I'm
It
sure it was nice
depends.
at that stage.
I suppose cold chips. Cold McDonald's chips are not nice.
They're not ideal, but if you're hungry, you still eat them, especially in a dip. I get a wee dip, and that's nice. So it is.
The curry dip, I believe, Andrew.
Oh, the curry dip. That's good, Colin. So it is. So you're on the road, Colin. You leave me and you run. And from here on in, there isn't much crack because literally it's a big, big road. And I probably meet you every half an hour.
On saying that, so I had, it's a pair of my road running shoes my wife got for my 40th birthday. A pair of Nike, I don't know whether they're vapor flies. I think they're vapor flies, but they're Nike ones anyway. And they've got the wee carbon thing. And I put them on the feet, Andrew. And were they comfy? They were dry, had new socks. They were I was ready to go. I kept my trekking poles with me. So my trekking poles had not left my hands the whole journey. And I started going.
Apart from you went to the toilet, you couldn't with track. You left them at the car for that stage. You don't go to the toilet with track, just to clear things up. People might be asking. Just did he? But anyway, continue. So you had the trekking poles in your hand.
Well, yes, I had the trekking poles. If I would have brought them to the toilet, then they weren't too cumbersome. Yes, that was okay. So anyway, trekking poles in my hand, I was going. And at this stage, up to this stage, I was not keeping track of my position in this race for the main reason of Andrew. I didn't care. Okay, yeah. I didn't care. I'm not even just saying that. I'm not trying to win a race. I'm not trying to do this. My time was 24 hours and it was gone. Now I was just going, let's get myself back in. And you came up beside me and you said, Colin, and I remember this, Colin, do you want me to tell you where you are in the race? 5th or 6th? And I was going, just go for it. And he says, you're 4th. I was like, you're having a laugh. How am I 4th? And then I was kind of going, right, can I keep 4th? So 24 hours had gone. I was on my route home, and my plan thought, wow, can I actually keep 4th position? Is this a possibility?
It's amazing. And I think I said to you how far back the other ones were. And it was about an hour, 15 minutes. It's just crazy.
And number 3 had finished. So
number 2 and number 1 had also. So the first 3 races had gone. We just have to clear it up, Colin.
Andrew, if number 3's finished, course number 1 and number 2 are going to be finished.
That's a good point. I'm not maybe as we in the business would call on the A game today, Colin.
Trust me, you're on a game, just not a game. So at this stage, I think there was about 10 miles left. This is the point, Andrew, where it did cross my mind of going, I'm coming to the end of this race. And this happened last year. And the last 10 miles, Andrew, I kind of slowed down.
Well, you did slow down, certainly. Yep.
I sat back and I just drank it in. And I was just like, I'm just going to enjoy the last, it sounds crazy me saying this, the last 10 miles, where people's going out running 10 miles thinking, this is a good run. I thought, I'm just going to slow down and enjoy it. And over that 10 miles, Andrew, I absorbed the wolves had seen, the eagle had seen, running through the bogs with Ross, the sickness 90 miles ago, maybe 85 miles ago.
Yeah.
Like, I was running through this all in my head, the cans of Coke, the first aid station, everyone cheering. I was running all this stuff through my head going,
Crew man, you didn't mention the crew
the
man.
crew man, the crew man. And every now and again, you park. I said, just go down to the next bit and you park. And you said, what do you need? And at this stage, Andrew, I was loving Huel. So I had you were bringing me Huel, you were bringing me water, plain water, and you brought me Galaxy salted caramel. Flip, was that nice, Andrew? That
2 wee bars at a time. He even broke them off for you, didn't it? A good crew
2
man
bars at a
doesn't just
time.
give you a bar of chocolate. He breaks off the 2 bits and gives it to you.
I wish I had taken a photo of you, because every time out the crew, your hands couldn't hold it all. You had a bottle of Huel, a bottle of water, and 2 squares of Galaxy caramel. You go, what do you want? And I was like, Huel and caramel, water
You
and
didn't
caramel.
stop at the car.
Huel and
Literally,
water.
I would walk with you or run with you, depending on what you were doing
And I
along the way.
just grabbed it, drank.
I would take the
ate.
poles off you. Take the poles off
Oh,
you. Give you the other stuff.
Give me the stuff, because it's hard to eat and have the poles flying about. But yeah, what else happened? It came around the corner, and then thinking back to last year, there was a point towards the end where a girl fell and a girl collapsed, and I was like, it's not over until it's over. But at this stage,
No.
I was just moseying my way around the corner, and then it came to the finish line, Andrew.
Because I probably about half an hour before this, you said, Colin, I'll meet you at the finish line. So maybe half an hour. I had been there waiting for you. You didn't see me for the last half hour or something. And you came around the corner and tell me about it.
I just, you know what? I could have ran, and I didn't want to run. So I just walked. I just walked around the corner.
The last 4 meters, maybe you walk around the corner and you've got the wee bit with
We
the
run wild
flag
and I
and
banner.
the banner and the
arch.
The arch is the word. Yep.
And I just walked around the corner, and then Rachel's there, and I was going,
Your wife was there, Rachel. Yep.
She was there, and I just walked around. I was just like, give Rachel a hug, give you a hug, high five, Andrew, well done. Gary and Gillian were there. I finished 4th, Andrew.
Fourth, Colin.
Fourth.
Last year you finished 36th or something.
Yeah.
36th or something like that. This was
So
7.5 hours quicker, Colin. 7.5 hours quicker.
And then I thought, hold on a wee second. And I think Gary, I apologize to Gary, he maybe tried to speak. I said, 1 wee second. And I'd stopped my watch, and I flicked it on, and I thought, how far did I run? Because remember last year, Andrew, you ran 107.
Well, I didn't want to bring it up, Colin, but I ran 107.71 miles. Last year you ran, I don't know what it was, but it was less than that.
It wasn't
you
bad.
had to check. Have you ran further than me in your life in one fell swoop, Colin? Well, let's find out.
Now, I didn't turn my watch off at aid stations, so I thought, ooh, there's a chance.
Yeah,
There's a chance. I'm gonna beat him, because I didn't turn him off at aid
This
station.
is all I have over you. This is all I have over you. So if I
And
lose
the
this,
start-
I'm nothing. I'm nothing but a crewman. But a crewman now. And my running
And
career
the
is
start
over.
was in a different place.
It was,
You
yeah.
know, and I had taken toilet breaks, so I'd
You
gone
did.
a wee bit. Ooh, there's a wee bit extra in this, Andrew. There's a wee bit extra, and I was like,
Here
I
we go.
looked at it, and I
Deep
thought,
breath.
that can't be right. 106.4 miles.
106.4 miles, which for a bit of quick maths is under what I have ran. So the real winner was really me, Colin. So did I come? so somehow, did I come like 3rd and a half in a weird way?
No, you didn't. You were crewman, Andrew. You were crewman. You didn't.
I was the crewman that's now ran further than yourself still for another year. But don't dare. 4's still good. Chin up, buckaroo. You did 36 hours.
Andrew,
Achievement.
So, just so you know, there's another opportunity for me to run further than you, and it's going to happen next month. It's going to happen at the end of next month in the Famine Way with Rerun Wild NI.
So you are doing another 100-mile ultra marathon.
Yep.
And are you doing it by yourself, Colin?
Yes, I think so. Am I?
No, I don't know, Colin. I don't know. So just to fill it, well, before we'll maybe get to it now. I always go on holidays at that time, and I rearranged my holidays just so I could run the Famine Way with you. And then as soon as the race was over, at the start of the race, I was like, I'm doing the Famine Way, and I was speaking to Gary about it and a few others. And by the end of the race, I thought, this is madness. I don't know if I'm doing this Famine Way anymore. So I booked my holidays. I talked my wife into booking holidays. I was meant to go to Spain. I'm still going to Spain just sooner. I booked my whole summers around the Famine Way, Colin. And I'm currently
Yeah.
not doing it. I've kind of said to you, I'll take you down. Or maybe the crewman will maybe return. Who knows? But you're doing the famine way, and I am driving you to the famine way. So
So I can't get lift down to the start of the famine way. I can get a bus or a train or something home. Haven't figured out it. I just need to get to the starting line, Andrew. And I begged you, Andrew.
It's 3 hours drive from where we are. It's 3 hours
Is it
drive.
3 or 2?
So it's three. It's 3. So it is. It's
flip.
3 hours drive. So your goal in the famine way is not to compete, not to come first,
Nope.
second, third, or anything like that.
Nope.
It's now the famine way is 100 mile, but it's actually 104. So you're planning to run an extra 4 mile just to beat me.
I don't know where it's going to fit in. Hopefully the aid stations are a good distance away from the trail, Andrew.
And then that adds a bit more. Here, it'd be awful if a crewman hit you in the car with it, and you but sorry for me asking. But I don't
I wouldn't put it past you.
Or no, or that's well, yep. So you're at the end, Colin. That's a story for another day. So you've got another 100 miler coming up. So that's exciting. So you've literally crossed the line. You finished 4th, and the first thing you do after 2 hugs or something is check if you beat me, and then your mind goes to another 100 miler. Oh, I don't know what to say about that. So how are you feeling at this stage? How are you feeling mentally, physically?
Do you know what? Over the moon, although I needed a shower, Andrew. I was stinking. So I actually went into the wee place, and there's showers at the end of this race. There's food, there's showers, there's everything, you name it. So Gary puts on, so he says, Colin, do you want a drink? So obviously took a non-alcoholic beer, because I love a non-alcoholic beer after these events. So everything's all good. Got my shower. You actually, Rachel's like, I didn't bring shower gel, Colin. I brought you stuff, but I didn't bring. And Andrew goes, then you come back with, I think it was shampoo.
A good crewman always brings shower gel. I didn't. I brought shampoo, but it was close.
Yeah,
it was close.
That's a shampoo shower gel. It's just a name on a bottle. It does the same thing, doesn't it?
Use it. You should. Now, here's an interesting, and there's a bit of a tangent, but the gym I go to, it's a very nice gym, and it's got 3 bottles of stuff, so you don't need to bring your own shower gel. One of it, the first one says shower gel, the second one says conditioner, the third one says shampoo. All 3 have the same stuff in it.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm sure a good crewman knows the smell and taste and texture. Not taste, but they're all the same. And there's other people have discussions about this in the changing rooms, so we know it's all the same. So why not just have one ball? Colin, that's for another time. But it's just
that is.
Just
we'll come to that. I'm sure
what I mean? So
the Crewman Chronicles.
What I'm saying, I don't think it's in the Crewman Chronicles. So what I'm saying is, it doesn't really matter if it's shower gel or shampoo. It's the same kind of difference.
Yeah. Yep. And yet, so I finished it. I got my clothes on, put on my hoodie, Andrew, and all I could smell was coffee. And I think I came out the shower.
Was it dry?
It was super dry. I smelled like coffee.
Probably in a weird way, you needed that coffee smell just to keep your senses above you.
No.
No, I'd say in a weird way, deep down, the crewman knew that you needed a bit of a smell of coffee on your clothes just to perk you up, and just, you know what I mean, in a weird way.
Andrew, in a weird way, maybe. In a weird way, maybe that's what you do. You bring a coffee smelling garment to the end of every 100 mile. We do, and so yeah, here we are. I'm sitting down with my wife, and Pierre walks in, who finished in second. And I got chatting to him. His wife and his family were over, and they were staying in Gorchin Forest Park. So I had a good chat to Pierre, lovely guy. He was going to Belfast, then he was heading back home to Glasgow afterwards. So
he is French, but lives in Glasgow then.
I believe so. We didn't get to the fine specifics of his life, Andrew, but we had a good chat about the race. And what a race, Andrew. What a day. What an event. And what else is there left to say?
I don't think there's anything, Colin. I don't think we've covered a lot. Covered a lot in this podcast, things that nobody's ever covered in any podcast. And what an event. I hope people have enjoyed the recap of your adventure and a bit of mine. And so we've got the famine way next. So the fun's not over yet. We've got the Crewman Chronicles hopefully coming out very soon, and then we've got more guest interviews coming, Colin. So what a season it's been, and it's not over yet.
It's not over yet. We're coming to the finale of the Famine Way. Over this season, we've had guests. We've unleashed the Crewman Chronicles, Andrew, the Crewman Goodman. We've finished the Northern Ireland 100, and Andrew, last weekend they actually released the 2026 sign up for the NI 100.
Well, this makes a good point because it must have been about 4.5 minutes after the event. I said, "Well, Colin, how do you feel? Are you coming back to do it next year?" And you said, "Andrew, I don't think I can beat this. I'm not coming back." Well, fast forward a few days, Colin. We'll see at the crack is. So you're back next year. Now,
I'm back next year.
if anyone's listening and they are wanting to do the wee one wild Northern Ireland 100, which is, and we'll get the bit of scenery that Matt was looking, it's one of the most, I honestly think it's one of the best, and I've only done one, so I can't really say this with any great conviction, but it must be one of the best 100 milers in the whole of the UK and Ireland, Colin. And I'm not just saying that, it must be the first bit with all the scenery the whole way through the race, but the coast, round the coast, and then up your mountains, your bogs, it's just, there's too many things actually to film that in about the scenery. If you go up to the north coast of Northern Ireland, it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. And then you're up into the mountains. But there might be a bigger uptake in this race next year. There's starting to get a lot of attention. So if local runners or anyone actually want to enter in this race, they're being advised to sign up early because it could be the first time where all slots are filled for this race.
They meet their criteria. But so yes, as Andrew said, there's rocks, there's beaches, there's hills, there's grass,
there's clouds, there's sky in the clouds, clouds in the sky.
And there's sky. It was a tough race this year. There was a lot of people who dropped out for one reason or another. So yeah, it was
14 people actually out of the 63
14.
dropped up. I don't know what the percentage is, but that's
14 out of
number.
About 63, 64 people. So that's quite a high percentage. But you get to see the rocks, the beaches, the forests, the trails, the paths, the animals, the sheep, the wolves, the eagles, and the best bit about it, Andrew, is the crew people, the volunteers.
Joking, but they really are though, and I'm not just talking about me. It's the other crews. It's the volunteers.
Yeah, you get to see the people and the volunteers and meet the local guys that are just brilliant, Andrew. And I think that's a nice place to leave it.
It really is, Colin. And well, maybe people's asking Andrew, would you be tempted to sign up for it again? Don't know. We'll have to wait and see, I suppose, won't we? We'll have to see if Colin breaks my record. So a further longest run. So will I have to reclaim that? Probably not. But we'll find out in other episodes of Idiots Go
Running.
We'll see you there.
He burst from the forest like a flaming jet, up every hill like gravity hadn't been invented yet. 4th place finish, oh yes, he flew, while most of us slept. Colin just ran through. Andrew the crewman, good man, said